guys and girls, my name's Dan. Welcome back to the Forge. In this episode of Rough and Ready, we're going to be looking at how to identify wrought iron. I'm going to cook some food and we're then going to make some tongs with some tong making tool. Okay, the bulk of today's video is going to be taken up with making this and then trying to learn how to use it. I'm going to talk about practice and stuff at the end. And I'm going to get some results that look a bit like this, which is quite nice. Repeatable and usable, which is really good. Trying to speed myself up. Anyway, enjoy the video and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, this is one of the nice things about being on a farm and also one of the nice things about doing these rough and ready videos. This piece of material was given to me by the farmer here, Nick, and he turned around and he said, is it any good to you? What is it? And that's a good question, I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to try and find out if it's wrought iron. If it's cast, it's probably useless and I'm probably going to chuck it back in the scrap bin it came out of. But being in this location here, we have a symbiotic relationship where I have got to close that door. Where was I? Where we have a symbiotic relationship where I do little jobs for Nick. Nick gives me free stuff off the farm or helps me do projects or so on and so forth. So it's quite nice being in this location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and determine whether or not this is or isn't wrought iron. I'm going to cut into it with an angle grinder and then we're going to try a snap test on it and see what happens. If it's wrought iron, it'll bend and then snap. If it's cast, it'll just break clean off. Okay, I'm not quite sure what you managed to see there or not, but it's quite clearly cast iron or cast steel of some description. It's the other side that broke off. And you can see that it didn't tear or bend. It just snapped clean off. So this is cast. So what I'm going to do is I think I've got a piece of wrought iron that I know that I've got in the back of the workshop somewhere. I'm just going to show you what it should look like if it is wrought. And hopefully you can see that there. It's basically just torn and bent, and it's very hard. It's just torn and bent, and it sort of like peels away as it comes off, as opposed to doing that nice crack. Right, hopefully that was helpful. Something else that I've been asked about from time to time is cooking. In a recent video we cooked some burgers on the forge, and I'm going to cook myself a little bit of bacon just now. Just a couple of things to remember. If you're going to cook over coke, it gives off quite a bit of sulphur and it's probably not very good for you, so I don't recommend you do it. And I'm going to turn the coke forge off whilst I'm actually cooking. It's just a bit of bacon. Wash your hands, do all the smart stuff. And if you are going to use a pan like this, I would suggest getting it nice and hot, put a bit of oil on it, then chuck your bacon on. It's the best, easiest way to do it. Okay, before we go wandering off into this video too far, I just want to cover a few things before we go forwards. The first one is, if you're going to cook food in the forge, make sure it's cooked, because if you get sick, it's not my fault, you're the idiot for cooking it. And secondly, this is what these videos are about. They're rough, they're ready, they're me showing you some different stuff that you wouldn't normally see. So, and hopefully it's enjoyable. Well, I'm going to eat my breakfast and we'll talk a bit more about this in a second. And I sort of said I wasn't going to go on about this anymore, but I had a video that came out and 2 people commented on the video telling me how sketchy it was. I know, that's why they're rough and ready. You don't need to tell me. And if you want to see other content that's put together properly, there's other content to watch. So, these videos are just about having a giggle, seeing what I do on my day-to-day basis, and just finding out a bit more, maybe some interesting stuff that you didn't know before about wrought iron. A good example of this, and how this differs from one of my other videos, is you may or may not have seen this video yet, where I made a hammer like this one. Oh no, wait, I didn't make that hammer. I made this one. And in fact, I've now got to make a third one, because 2 of the scenes that are quite important are, they're out of focus, so I've got to make them again. And that's the point. The videos where I want the quality to be good, I spend a lot of time on. The videos where it's just me having a bit of a giggle and sharing with you, like these vloggy ones, are going to have weird noises in the background and they're going to be edited badly, and they're just a bit of fun. So But anyway, let me know what you'd like to see around the workshop and questions that you have for me. Everything from cooking to just, I don't know, how I wipe my ass, if you're really interested. So I might not say that. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. But my point is, let me know. Okay, so I'm going to leave the tooling that I've just made for tong making to normalise, and then tomorrow I'm going to take it and get it machined, I hope. We'll see what happens. And then it might make it into this video, or it'll be making it into the next one. Anyway, that's not important. Basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark up and redo some of the stuff that was missing from the how to make your first hammer video, and then go on and do some more of the forging, which I've messed up as well, because yeah, those videos aren't easy to make. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reshoot some of the stuff that was missing from the beginner hammer making video, where I made one of these. And also I'm going to video some of the bits that were out of focus, which is great fun because I love this camera, because sometimes it's perfect. Like now, it's scanning on my face, and other times, whoa, it just focuses on the thing in the background. It's really annoying. Anyway, ignore that. What we're going to do is I'm going to redo the markup, and I'm going to do the peen forging part again, but on a different style of hammer, and hope that no one notices. Now, if you watch that video and then you watch this video, you'll now know. But let's see how many people did actually notice. Right, I'm going to get on and redo the video in bits, and then yeah, then we'll get on. And the reason I'm doing it on a different hammer is because I don't make... Oh no! Oh, I'm bugging me chalk and everything. Take two. Oh, I don't make these hammers normally. These are hand forged ones, and I thought they would look nice with this slopey bit. So basically, I'm going to redo one, but on a Scandi, which I do need to make. Anyway, see if we get away with it. And I broke my chalk, and I have to redo that as well. Okay, so it's the next day, and I have had this thing machined. They did a great job, literally there for 2 minutes. They bolted it down, machined it, and now I've got it back. Now there's two problems with it. It doesn't come, the machining didn't come right up to the edges, which is fine. I wasn't expecting them to be able to do that. And that was where the problem was with my old tooling, was the fact that those edges were sharp. So I'm gonna get in there with a grinder and a file and just tidy up these corners. And the other thing is, it's got these scratch marks in. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a buff as well and try and get rid of some of these scratches, because I don't want those to be imprinted in the work. So I've gone around and just tidied that all up, ground all the sides, made sure everything's nice and flush, and got all these little nicks and stuff out of here, and I've taken most of the pattern out. It's not important that the pattern's in there. I don't think it's going to transfer that much. However, I don't want it to transfer greatly, and also because this is the initial part of the forging, it's going to change quite a lot between this point and the next point, so it won't be in there very much anyway. But I don't want to remove too much material. I want this to stay about 10mm. Right, this needs heat treating, 4140. I'm going to do this in water. Hopefully this one doesn't break. Yeah, see how we get on. Okay, so I managed to get this tempered and hardened. You'll have seen the tempering process. Basically just got a piece of steel hot, laid it on top until it got to the required colour as opposed to temperature. I'm not actually sure what temperature it was. I'm just waiting until it was like blue in colour. And I've also made this little handle with a ring on. I'm just going to weld the two together, and then once I've got welded together, I'm going to have a go at using it. So by using this, I'm hopefully able to use this and a combination of other tools to create some really tidy tongs, ones like these. And I'll make sure I get a close-up of these, but they've come out pretty tidy and I'm quite happy with them, and they're quite consistent. So what I'm going to do now is I've got 6 more pieces of stock here, so I can make another 3 pairs, fingers crossed, because I tend to make mistakes. But what I'd like to go over quickly is some of the issues I've had getting to this point. And there's some real value in making this journey. Everything from understanding what size stock I should be using all the way to how to work through the processes. Now these are okay, I can use these, I can turn these into the set of wolf jaw tongs to send out to a customer. However, I got about halfway through with these and I've made mistakes already with these, and these were the 3rd set that I tried to make, I think. This might have been the 1st set. I haven't got any more here, but that failed because they're in the scrap bin, and it's things like accidentally causing shuts. I don't know if you can see those, there's a shut there. Having the power hammer jump and mess up my hinge plate. So they're all learning experiences that come with developing tooling and working through those processes. And that's one of the really nice things about this Rough and Ready series. It opens up a window into the creative practice of a blacksmith and shows you the ups and downs and all the places where I make mistakes, all the things that I do quirky that other people don't do that really can help other people, I think, I hope, at least anyway. And it lets you know as well, even I have to practice to get something right. And I have to practice so much so that I'll make a pair of tongs like these here, and I made these and a video to go along with these, and they never even got into the video because I made another pair, and then the pair that I made I end up selling. In fact, I think I made 3 pairs of these. 1 second. Yep, I made 3 pairs. This pair here is the 2nd, so I made these and then I made these, and I was like, well, we're nearly there, and then I made the 3rd pair. And there are videos, or were videos, that went with both of these before I made the actual wolf jaw video. I'll probably put a card up for that. And that's genuinely something that I consider to be important, is practice, and practice does make perfect. I think we'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Okay, so the tooling's used to create set downs initially, and then I use it later on in order to size stock. And then I use in combination some stock blocks under the hammers so that I can take material back to its original width, or stock thickness. This was the first heat. These all took 3 heats to do. And I managed to do 2 of the set downs and draw out the back of the rein into 1 flat piece of stock. So I took that down, and then 2nd heat on the anvil, I just tidied everything up and made sure everything was in the right place, because using the sets sometimes it's a bit harsh and it bends things up a bit too much, so it's good to do it on the anvil a little bit. Just marking up for the hinge plate or the boss set down. And then I'm going to come over to the hammer. This was all done in 1 heat, all of this. So this is heat number 2. And I'm sort of just muscle memory in this one. And then using that 16 to get that width back in. I already know that the boss is at 10 mil, sorry. So I don't have any problems getting that in. I can sort of just rough it in. And this is the 3rd heat. I just tidied these up. And I think I run the rein back under the power hammer.
Okay, so my video here is 2 minutes long, this bit, of the total of me making one pair. Took about 12 minutes, so I'm going to leave that there and enjoy the rest of the video. And the one other thing was that the matty is playing up a little bit in the minute. I think it needs shimming in the stuffing box, which will be in a video. I'm waiting for some tools to turn up to check it, so I'll cover that later. So if you see it playing up or me messing around with it a bit later on, that's the reason.
Believe it or not, I managed to get all of those blanks turned into this so far. I haven't drawn the reins down yet. I let them cool down, mark them up so that they're all the same, which might take a long time, I guess, but for me, I like them to look smart and be nice and tidy. And I think the workshop's focusing on, I'm focusing on productivity and making it so that I can make stuff a lot quicker and a lot faster. Spending about 4 hours on these today. And being able to get myself, they're not the only tongs I actually made. I made all sorts of different types of tongs, but a lot of the tongs I rely on muscle memory to sort of know, not my same muscle memory, I sort of rely on my ability to know when to stop. So these are very uniform, they're very regular, they're square, they're tidy, and they're usable. So they're less likely to be wrong because they're not slightly the wrong size, because I'm winging it basically. Anyway, I don't want to chat too much about that, but it's about making me more efficient. And I think one of the things that I'm going to have to do potentially is stop selling stock, or if I am going to sell stock, I'm going to buy it in and sell it already to size, because I just can't at the minute as well. I can't keep up. If I had a student here, it would be easier to do. So I'm not 100% sure if that's something that I want to continue to do, but it's something I definitely want to keep doing. I want to keep offering it, but whether or not I want to keep offering it the way that I'm offering it at the minute, I'm not sure, because it's hard to keep up. So fortunately, the lovely Ella is continuing to come down and help me draw out stock, because we can't get people down here at the minute. I'm kind of hoping that's going to change in the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks. We might be able to get back into gear a little bit and start producing a bit more stock, a bit more readily available. So I didn't realise how time consuming that was. I think I'm still talking about the same thing I didn't want to talk about. Anyway, the thing that I do want to talk about is how people, I think people see this as, they see someone doing it who's got skills and they go, oh, that's easy, I can do that because they made it look easy. And then they come to it and they are like, well, why doesn't it look like theirs? I've done all the same things that they've done, and it's genuinely one of these crafts where you have to put the practice in. If you're not willing to do that, you're not going to be any good at it, unfortunately. And I know people that have put loads of practice in and they're still keen for it, and they're still having to work even harder to get further. So it's quite a daunting practice, and it's not very forgiving sometimes. So it can be quite stressful. I think people talk about it as being stress reliever, but I've never found it to be relieve my stress in any way, shape or form. If nothing else, it makes me angry because it's quite stressful. I guess it's because I'm running a business, so that's where the stress comes from. Okay, blanks like this are now available up on the Etsy. They will be forklift truck time for the time being. So if you want blanks, they're up there. And also, if I get stuff done, so when I've been putting like 5 items up, and then once 5 items are completed, then I'm saying putting them back up again. Once stuff's done, it'll go back up. So if you're looking for something like drifts and punches and chisels and whatevers, they'll all be up there. I've got some more ideas for some different bits and bobs. They'll be up there soon. And also, raffle tickets. I definitely recommend you go over and get yourself a raffle ticket, because you could win yourself this hammer here. I think it's this hammer here, or one of the two, because I made 2 of them. But if you want to get yourself one of these hammers, then you can by getting a raffle ticket over on the Etsy. The link for that is in the description. If you buy anything on the Etsy as well, you get a ticket into the raffle as well. So if you bought a t-shirt and 2 pairs of tongs, you get 3 raffle tickets. If you bought 20 hammer blanks, don't do that, because I probably won't be able to ship them to you because it'd be so expensive. If you wanted 20 hammer blanks, then you'd get 20 raffle tickets. So that's basically how that all breaks down. And the next video that will be out for these ones will be doing the heat treating. But what I'd like to do is do Scandies, rounders and big boys in between, so that the 3 different types of hammers, because we've done the dog's head ones, and I just want to build off the dog's heads and just give some more information about how I make those hammers and how you can make them at home. And then I think we're pretty much got 700 likes on that other video where I did this. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is producing a video for that as well, where we make a store-bought hammer into a usable forging hammer, and hopefully people can do that, because we'll do it by hand. So that should be cool. So thank you for joining me. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are a subscriber, please ring that bell for notifications. It tells you every time I make a video. Getting about 2 out a week, which is really good. If you'd like to support the channel in any way, shape or form, you could go out and check my Etsy out and buy a raffle ticket or buy a t-shirt or any of those really cool things. It really, really does help. And then you could always go and check out my Instagram and follow me there, and then just leave some likes and stuff on there. That always helps. I put content up there when I can to sort of help show people what's going on in the forge and stuff. I don't know whether or not people like it or not. Anyway, drop something down in the comments, let me know if you enjoyed this. This was a rough and ready, 1 take, no fakes. I'm probably going to try and get a t-shirt with that on, I think. But yeah, so this was rough and ready. The content in this video was for people that are interested in the channel and where we're going with the channel and what we're doing. So sorry if you didn't like it. You're probably not here if you didn't like it. You probably left already. So I think that's everything. So I'm going to leave that like that. All the links to everything I've talked about are in the description. To see that, there's a show me more on the description, and that'll open a box, and then all the information about the website, email, Etsy, Instagram, it's all there for you to go and check out. I will get YouTube to leave you a link to a video that they think is suitable for you from my back catalogue. This one here is a most recent video. The one down here underneath me is a video that I thought you might like, and that one there is a subscribe button. Thank you very much. Bye bye.